Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video, and you can probably tell by the cheesy grin on my face and the thumbnail, if we buy it, I am going to look at a barn find. Come straight off the back of the Fiesta RS Turbo video. I received a message in our inbox saying, are you interested in this? We are just going to head straight there, have a look at it and try and get a deal done. Let's do it. Very, very nice people. I'm in Hildenborough, so in between Sevenoaks and Tunbridge. Is it a barn? I guess it is a barn because it's in their back garden. Their garage is at the front of their house. And is it a barn find? It is a barn find because it found me. And there it is, 1990 XR2i. He did turn the lights on for me a minute ago. He's turned them off again now. And I bet, let's have a... There we go, we got some lights on the go now. So the paintwork on it is rough, but under the bonnet, he said it's had some welding over the years that he's done, but you can see it's all solid. It's definitely all solid now, and he said if it wasn't for the fuel pump, this would run. It is what it is. They're getting rarer, aren't they? And I don't think we're going to go wrong with what I've just paid for this. Of course, we will get into the numbers at some point. And he stripped it all out because he was going to do a nut and bolt restoration on it. Right, all the interiors in one shed. The car's here in this barn, let's call it a barn. And we've got to get this car down here, around the garden. Let's just cut that off. Down here, around the garden, and then onto the back of the truck. But there's a little shed over there with all the interior in it. And there's loads of side skirts and other bits in this shed here. So I guess we're just going to pile it in and get the car down there. Let's carry on. Out the garage. Yeah. Got Tim behind me, and so far we've got the front seats in there, the back seat, the carpets, lots of other stuff. But Tim also had spares for it, which is lovely to get, isn't it? A front and a rear bumper. He said he bought these from a breaker's yard years ago. Anyway, we're going to get the rest of the car loaded up and then push it out the front. We'll get into it when we get back to the yard. But honestly, that car is piled high. It's got so many spares with it. He had like 3 spare alternators, 3 spare starter motors. And I said, Tim, why have you got all these? He went, well, when they become available at the breaker's yard, they're not making any more of them, are they? I'm sure you can get a pattern one, but look, it's come with a load of spares. I'm absolutely filthy. Let's head back to the yard. And as usual, of course, before I even set off to go and look at this one, I've done a check on it using Car Vertical, and it come up Ford Fiesta 1990, odometer green, all looks good, financial and legal. I wouldn't expect it to be on finance, so that's looking all good. And damaged, another one that was never damaged back in the day. That's clearly highlighted there in green. So things to know about the 1990 Fiesta, and I just want to go to Timeline and see if there's any information about this car. So 6 records found, registered the 1st 1990, ownership change on the 8th 2005, a failed technical inspection on the 10th 2010, and then obviously it was re-inspected on the 10th 2010 where it passed. Then it was done again on the 10th 2011. So this car has not been MOT'd since 2011. So I'm going to assume been off the road since 2012. That's 12 years ago. Of course, if there is an issue when you're checking your vehicle out using Car Vertical, one of the 3 green items here at the front, so your odometer, financial and legal, and damaged, will be marked in amber. So here is just an example, and as you can see there, clearly highlighted in amber. And then when you do click on damage on the check, it does bring up there that it's been written off, and actually tells you the category and the date in which that was written off. So this one is just an example. I want to thank Car Vertical for the continued support on the channel. To benefit from a nice little discount off your check, use the code up on screen now, or hit the link in the description where it will automatically apply your discount. Embarrassed, but I'm going to admit it. This is a retake because I had a body warmer on and I took it off for it in my van. We'd done this whole bit of video and I went to Chris, oh, my microphone's on my body warmer in the van.
Yeah.
Mate, there it is.
A barn find.
It is a barn find. It found us on Instagram.
Huh.
We didn't have to go and find it, but no, I guess that's how it comes around. After the Fiesta video went out, I got a message saying father-in-law's got a similar car, an abandoned project, quite bad health.
You love an old Ford, don't you?
I do love an old Ford, but who don't love a profit, really?
Oh,
we are a profiteering, profit-making company.
We always say we buy for
You
profit.
buy your profit, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, 100%.
So, I'll show you in a minute underneath because I've pulled it on. Very, very nice, solid car. Belonged to a chap called Tim. He painted it years ago. He said the lacquer had a reaction. He lived with it for a few years. Then he popped it back in the garage, started stripping it down and was going to repaint it again.
Does need a full repaint.
It needs a full repaint. It is a straight old car.
Yep.
It's had a couple of plates welded in it,
Yep.
but it's very, very solid, Chris.
Right.
And I mean really solid. Have a look. Just a little bend down here. I knew that was going to fall off. Have a look at like the floors and all up underneath there. It is all very, very nice, isn't it? The back panel's all lovely in it.
Yeah, I see the old fuel tank's missing there.
It's in the back.
Oh, right,
And he said it is actually a perfect runner apart from the fuel pump packed up on it, and he hasn't been able to get one for it.
Right.
He has stripped quite a lot of it out inside as well because he was going to nut and bolt it, but you can see the paint.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone home, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it looks like it's a complete car, doesn't it?
Well, mate, fingers crossed, you can see just by standing here. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that yet. Looks very, very clean under the bonnet as well. I've shown quite a bit of that.
Yep.
But I guess it is, get it over there.
Yeah, get it off the truck and we can have a proper look at what we got.
Yeah,
can't
definitely.
We?
But overall, mate, I'm going to say it, cheap. We bought a good profit there, I think.
Yeah.
Reasonably priced, and yeah, let's get it unloaded.
So of course we all know I'm in my element when there's an old Ford on the back of my truck. No, to be fair, it does make me smile seeing these old classics, and it does bring back a lot of memories. So getting all the straps undone on this one, and I've actually got it on the winch cable and unloaded it using the remote because I couldn't get in there once I loaded it to put the handbrake on.
Right, well that's it unloaded. I guess now is the time to see, have we got a complete car? Under the bonnet, I've shown you all briefly that I've already seen the heater blower motor. It is in there. But look how crammed in everything is. And of course, these valuable spare parts, like those bumpers and all those side skirts. I guess let's get it unloaded and first of all make sure we've got everything we need for the car and box up all of these extra bits. I mean, you can see there's two starter motors there, there's an alternator there, I know there's another starter and an alternator in there. I'm not even going to get into it. I can see that half the fuel pump's there as well. Be nice to find the other half. There's another starter. Let's get it all unloaded and have a look, see what we've got.
So I still can't believe how much stuff I fitted inside this car. It's not until we stop and have a look around at how much stuff there is. It's just unbelievable. But to be fair, just off the bat, quite a lot of this stuff is going to be going in the bin. There's just so many start motors and alternators, all second-hand, and they are available to buy new or reconditioned. So it's just not worth keeping hold of them. I mean, where do you keep them all and for how long? That's it, all unloaded. Let's take a look.
Very, very interesting. I guess, I still don't know if it's all there, but it certainly looks like the majority of it is there. And if you look, it's very, very solid shell, very solid. It has had, I can see, at some point, you can see it's had a plate in here. The original floor number is still there. I just need to clean it up, but it is there. You can see. I don't really know what else. Look, I mean, look how clean all the boot floor is. It's all very clean. Seat box is all fine. It does all look good. See, all the rear panels are still in, door panels are in, roof lining. So it's not gutted, is it? It is just carpets and interior that are out. That's a second immaculate Mark III Fiesta parcel shelf we found recently, isn't it? That one's got one in as well. CVH cylinder head. He actually offered that to me while I was there, said you can take it, I'm not going to need it anymore. It was just a spare he bought. all of the inner carpets, wheel arch carpets, back seat, the other part of the back seat, front seats. This one here is quite badly damaged. Maybe not, maybe it's this one here underneath these, but he sourced a new piece of material for it, or a spare piece of material, so that wants to enter the seat. Centre console, there is so many extra spares with this car. You've got a load of seals and rubbers there. And guys, look at that. I'll be honest, I've put so much in there stupidly, I can't even pull that now. I went to pull it and put a crack in the box, so I need to get rid of some of this. And I'll be honest, a lot of it is going in the scrap metal bin. I counted 6 replacement alternators and maybe 5 or 6 starter motors as well, and we're just not going to need them. They're still available from the motor factors to buy, so we're not going to be keeping hold of them. Right, all of the carpets, underlay, everything is there. The fuel tank is there, and it does look good inside. All of the lock is there for it, the gasket's there. But when you take, I've popped this sender in here, you can see the fuel pump is actually missing off the bottom of it. And before I go any further on this car, I want to know if it runs. I'm not going to waste my time on it if it doesn't run. So I need to source a fuel pump for this, and that is going to stall me a little bit. So I'm going to get straight on that now and see if I can find one. But just showing what was in the back of it, because I'm actually going to sell these. They are rocking all doo-doo to get hold of now. I've just seen one of these on eBay for £350, and it's had the front cut out of it for an intercooler. That is a very, very clean front bumper. They're not standard, are they? That's off of a Renault or something like that, maybe. And a very, very clean back bumper. XR2i or RS Turbo. I think the only difference is the 2i's have these holes in because they have that extra little black grille that the turbos don't. Both side skirts, rear spoiler, and all 4 wheel arches. And I know there's 4 caps. I saw another one, I threw it in that box. So it looks like we've got the majority of this car, but I need to stop there and get this fuel pump situation sorted so that we can see if this runs.
So now with the fuel tank out, you can see just a wipe round there with a wire brush and vacuum out everything that you can loose. A little vacuum inside, there was a couple of little tiny bits floating around in there, and then start building up that new fuel pump to the sender unit so we can get that fitted. We're so lucky we've got the gaskets and the seal clamp. Everything seems to be here.
Right, you see what I did there with the tank? Just cleaned up all of the excess anyway. I've just explained that already. I've just been up the garage and bought a can of petrol. That's the new pump, all fitted. And you can see I've got the float on there, got the new filter on the bottom of it, and I've submerged it, the filter, in a brand new packet of, brand new jug of petrol. And I've connected this Earth and Live up to the jump pack. And all I'm going to do is just prove that it works before I stick it in the car by catching some of it in this can, hopefully, if it works. And you can see there, that's working perfectly. So I'm quite happy with that. I am actually going to fit that back in the tank and then fit this in the car. If there is an issue with the wiring in the car, we are going to look at it. But because you've got 4 wires on the top of the pump here, I've actually marked it as well, live and earth, so that worst way, if it comes to it and we do need to earth and live this up to get it to run, to get the car to run, we can. Hopefully that does kind of explain what I was up to. I'm going to get this all drained back down, get that fuel put back in a can, and then get this fitted in the tank.
So with that all put back together, let's get the car up in the air, get some axle stands underneath it, and then start the process of fitting that fuel tank. So you slide it straight under, and it is just 4 13mm bolts that hold that in. And then of course you've got your filler neck pipe, you can see lying on the floor there. I've got that started and then managed to just bend it slightly because it is plastic, and got it up there, and then got the filler nozzle in the correct position where that needs to be. and I think we are pretty much ready for some fuel. Here we go, in with the fuel.
Right, fuel tank is back in. Just need to mess around to get this filler neck actually locked into place. And I found the cap, we get the cap put back in it. Yeah, tank's back in. I've put all new bolts in there to, let's actually show you. Hold it in place, you can see through the wheel arch just about there. You can't actually see that, can you? See it now. So nice 4 new bolts in the tank, filler neck all back in. I've plugged the pump in. I think I mentioned before, you can see where someone's been spiking this. They've actually taken a little bit off, so I need to sort that out. We're confident that the pump was all working, and I've just turned the keys on and listen. It's priming perfect. Not only is it priming perfect, fuel rail. See, we've got fuel pressure there. So I've got a tray underneath. It's pushing the fuel up. What I'm going to do is just, Chris is right in the middle of doing something. As soon as he's finished, I'm going to disconnect the feed, and we're actually going to run probably, well, just a little bit into a cup just to clear that fuel line from the fuel pump all the way back to the car. Then after that, I guess we can fire this up. Well, try to fire it up. Fingers crossed, she's a runner. Let's see how we get on. Right, Chris is back now, and as we are getting closer, I've put the booster on it. Believe it or not, that battery has actually got some life in it, which has shocked both of us. It was undone. And I'm gonna drain some more fuel out of that feed, but you just said to me, make sure I'll take the plugs out, put a bit of lube down there.
Yeah, definitely. It's been standing all them years.
Just wang it over.
Yeah, just give the rings half a chance, won't it?
Yeah. All right then, mate. Well, I'll get on and get all that done, and then I guess we'll both be out here for the big will it run. Yeah.
All right, mate.
All right, mate. Cheers.
So out with those spark plugs, nice and easy to do, very, very easy to get to on these older cars, well designed, and then a bit of WD-40 down the bores, and we'll leave that to soak in for a little while. I'm just checking all of the pipe work, just making sure that everything's okay before I think we flick the key and fire this one up. Fingers crossed if it does fire up.
Right, well, I took the plugs out, and it's actually got original Motorcraft plugs in it, and you can see they ain't never been fired. That car's never run with those plugs in it. They are brand new, obviously original Motorcraft plugs. I've put lubrication down the barrels, down the bores, and I've got Chris in there. He's going to spin over the key, and I've just put a towel there just to prevent it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, well, it turns over all right.
Yeah.
Turns over, doesn't it?
Look like you got compression on them.
Well, go on, go again. Yeah, I'd say so. Oh, by the way, guys, there is obviously all the coil leads under there. I did disable the coil pack by unplugging it as well, so that we didn't have any sparks there. I guess, mate, I'll put it all back together, and let's see if it fires up.
That's
but
it,
it's just all the wiring and stuff.
Just,
but did you hear
there? I'll turn the ignition off. Just plug the coil pack in.
Yeah.
And put a plug in one of the leads.
Right. One sec then.
See if we got spark.
Yeah. 1 sec. Let's go with that one. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed, aren't I? Give that a go. Stop. There was nothing there. I don't think I had a good enough. Give that a go. Yep. Yeah, we've got a good spark.
Oh, well, that's good news.
Yeah, let's get it all back together. Fuel, got spark, got air, it's got water, Chris, I've checked it.
Oil?
And I've checked the oil, yeah.
Right.
You're welcome to check it again.
No, I was just making sure she's popped in. I'll go on the key, Rob, shall I?
Yeah, obviously there's no foot brake, the handbrake's on, so if you need to stall it for any reason, you're going to have to just put it into fourth and stall it. I don't know if the accelerator's working either. Yeah, and go on, mate. Yay!
Yeah, that's good.
Up she goes. That'll go quiet in a minute. To be fair, the bloke did say it run before the fuel pump packed up. It's missing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to pull the leads off. I know you would, wouldn't you?
No, I mean...
Just want warming up. That's nice though, isn't it? It's fired straight up. Is all the gauges and lights and rev counter and that working? And the oil light's obviously gone out.
Straight up. And you could tell with them plugs back in, it had plenty of compression.
Yeah.
Didn't it, on a fully charged battery.
Yeah. It does sound alright, but it is missing.
Oh, it is, yeah. And you have put a lot of stuff down the bores.
Yeah, I have, yeah, to be fair. It's clearing.
Just let it warm up now.
Do you want to see if it moves? For us.
Well, should we just let it warm up a minute and see if we can get that...
To clear?
Yeah.
I'll cut that camera because it might take 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean...
I've only put probably 2 litres of fuel in it.
Yeah.
It's probably worth me sticking at least a gallon in it, isn't it? Just going to check for any leaks because I've changed that. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Shame that's got a little misfire, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd probably clear on its own.
Oh, it does clear.
But you know it's not the plugs, don't you?
Nah,
So,
let's cut that for a minute then and let that warm up, I guess.
So this wasn't really part of my plan. I'm not really sure what to voice over because it will kind of give it away, but you can pretty much see what I'm doing here. The inside of this car was perfect. It doesn't need any work and there's absolutely no reason why we need to store that interior. Let's get it back in the car. It's not going to take that long and it's all going back together exactly as it should. In with the front seats, in with the carpets, in with the back seats, we're done.
So I know we completely went off course there of what we was doing and decided to actually have a proper clear up. We don't want them bits everywhere, do we?
not
So
really, no.
I've just, but you see, it did not take long at all just to get all of that trim interior back in there. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the bolts for the seats, so I've had to use new ones, but for the most part, it is all there and it's quite tidy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, good news on the engine.
Yeah, sweet as ain't that.
Sweet as a nut.
Swiss watch, would you say, Rob?
Yeah, little bit of a sticky injector that was. And now it runs lovely.
Yeah.
And it does drive. It's up to temperature. The fan keeps cutting in and out. I think give this a bit of a wash, and I think that's probably as far as we can go with it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a project for someone, isn't it?
I mean, the tyres weren't flat and they all look like brand new.
They do look, and the spare as well, weren't they?
Yeah, the spare's brand new. I honestly, I can't say because I'm not an MOT tester. I don't think this would want a lot to get through an MOT.
No.
I honestly don't.
No.
Because it stops, starts, and underneath, you see how nice it is. I'm not going to say it's mint, because it's not, but it's lovely under there, and you see all the floors inside it. I guess let's just give it a little bit of a wash off, and then have a proper look at it, and then let you all know what our plans are, what we're going to do with it.
So a bit of that Jenny Chem 101 cleaner, broken nozzle off to get another one, sprayed it on the engine and then just rinsed it off with the hose. Look at the difference in it, it looks so much better. And then again, you spray a bit of water over this car, it does make it gleam and look like new, but of course when we stop we'll take a closer inspection. But it looks like the wheels have been refurbed, all the tyres look in great condition, none of them were flat. So let's have a look once it's done.
So of course, just before we move on to the car, all the products we used were from Jenny Chem. You can purchase one of these buckets with a cleaning kit in it if you want, or you can buy any Jenny Chem products, and there's a little link in the description down below where you can get a nice little discount off. So going straight back to the car, I can see this looks brilliant on camera. I'm not going to pretend that it is. It does look lovely, but close up, this car does need paintwork. I know I've said it throughout this video, but I just want to reiterate that because the camera does lie to a degree, doesn't it? And this car, you can see, definitely needs painting. It is a straight car for a 1990, very, very straight. You can see the roof is the worst part, but it does just want, you know, it all wants flattening off. That is surface rust, none of it's gone through. The wheels come up incredible. I think they've definitely been refurbished. And all of the tyres, although they're probably very old, all Falcon, they're all brand new, and that's all 5 of them. Again, the back of it is all straight. Right down this side, all straight. It has got rust on it. This has obviously had a repair panel put in it at some point, because it would have never have made it this far. No chance. It didn't happen. They all rotted out there. But you can see how square and straight it is. I mean, even under here, I just used a bit of that Jenny Chem 101 cleaner. It's quite high strength. I sprayed it on neat, and then I just rinsed it off. But look how nice and clean it all come up under there. So, the plan for this car, let me just chuck you in the tripod. Right, I think it'll be fair to say, Chris said from the moment we was out in the yard, we're not doing a full restoration on this. And we wanted to let people know that, because some people do put in the comments, I can't wait to see a full restoration on this car. And that was never the plan. That was not going to happen. This little car is a perfect rolling restoration now. And like I've said as well, I don't think this is going to take a lot to get it for an MOT. So we're actually going to put this one on Instagram 2 days after this video goes out. And we're actually going to ask £3,000 for this car, which is cheap, I think. And that's only because I spoke to 2 auction houses and told them it's a running, driving, rolling restoration. And they said that this car down the auction would make between £4,000 and £6,000 on a good day. So I think it is an absolute bargain at £3,000. It is 100% complete. And like I say, underneath it looks lovely. You see inside it, it doesn't need any welding as far as I can see, as far as I've seen in there. It starts, drives, stops, and everything seems to be working. If it doesn't sell, then we'll probably think of another plan, and then we will put it through an auction at a later date. But that is our plan for it. If you're interested, look out for that Instagram post coming very, very soon. You can follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds, Chris at Salvage Rebuilds Chris. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share. And if you hit that thumbs up, we would really, really appreciate it. We'll see you very, very soon in the next one.